In the playlist linked below the like button are other C++ videos. We've previously talked about the cout object. Now it's time to talk about the CIN object. And the CIN object reads data typed into the program. The question that comes before the user data input is called the prompt. So if we prompt a user to input something, the CIN object will take that input. So that's the pre-knowledge. Now, what about getting information? Well, getting information is going to be a two-step process. The first step is going to be asking for input with cout, and then the second part is going to be taking input with CIN. The program is going to use the CIN object to read a value from the keyboard and store the value inside of a variable. CIN can also wait for multiple values, so let's do an example. Let's do cout. And we're going to prompt the user to enter two numbers. Another difference between cout and CIN is that the arrows are pointing out with the program for cout, and for CIN the arrows are going to be pointing inwards. So let's take two numbers as input. All we need to do is have the variables be listed right here. So we're going to have num1 and num2. Now if you highlight over it, we are using an undeclared identifier. So we have to declare these beforehand. Let's do int num1 and also a int num2. You don't have to initialize them because we're going to initialize them here and we're not using them yet. So let's also print out after this our num1 and num2. So let's do a cout, and then you entered num1 and num2, and then we're just going to end that line. So let's run this and see if we can get it to output our prompt. This says enter two numbers. We're going to type in 1, we're going to do a space, and we're going to type in 2, and then we'll press enter, and it says we've entered 1 and 2. And that's pretty much how our CIN values are going to work. We could of course have multiple other variables after this. If you wanted to, you can even have strings. So let's say we'll just say x like this, and then we'll have a string x is equal, well, we don't need to initialize it right now. We just need to make it a variable. So string x, and then we'll also, before we end the line, we're going to, we'll just make a new line right here, cout, and then let's just output x like this. Let's run our program again. We didn't change the prompt, so it's still going to ask us to enter two numbers. We'll do 3 and 66, press space, and we'll just do test, press enter. You entered 3 and 66, and then test right here. So that's going to be it for the CIN object. If you have any other questions, leave them in the comments below. If you want more C++, they're as always in the playlist, link below the like button.